It happened so fast, faster than anyone could have guessed. And yet, looking back, the clues were there. In every paused interview, every cryptic quote, every awkward smile that Max Verstappen gave when asked about Christian Horner. And now, the Red Bull World Champion has done something that's left George Russell completely stunned. Not because of what he did on track, but because of a decision, quiet, calculated, and completely unexpected, that might have just sealed the fate of two Formula One titans. Verstappen is the key to this year's silly season. Let's rewind. It's late July. The F1 world descends on Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix, but the energy in the Red Bull paddock isn't just about racing. The media crowd is buzzing, and it's not because of DRS zones or tyre compounds. No, they're all trying to hear one voice, Max Verstappen's. Just days earlier, Red Bull did the unthinkable. They sacked Christian Horner, the man who built the team into a powerhouse, the man who stood beside Max through 4 world championships, 65 Grand Prix wins, and more than a decade of dominance. Gone. Why? The official story is performance. Since mid-2024, Red Bull's form has slipped. But behind closed doors, rumors of scandal, an alleged affair with a team member, put Horner in the firing line. Red Bull needed change, and they needed to keep Max happy. Because if Verstappen walked, the whole house of cards might collapse. So they replaced Horner with Laurent Mekies, the soft-spoken Frenchman from Toro Rosso. Mekies would step in as team boss starting at Spa. Max's reaction? He didn't explode. He didn't cry foul. He didn't even flinch. "The relationship between me and Christian won't change," he said, calm as ever. "He's like a second family to me." But then came the twist. "People can have different opinions," Max added. "That's fine. I keep my own opinion to myself. That's how the world works sometimes. I'm not going into details." That line hit hard. It was clear. Something deeper was going on. Something Max wasn't ready to say, at least not publicly. He admitted he only found out about Horner's sacking half a day before it went public. That was the decision of the owners. I'm just the driver. But was he really just the driver? Because not long after Horner was shown the door, Mercedes, Red Bull's biggest rival, started making headlines of their own. George Russell, who has carried Mercedes through a shaky season, dropped a bombshell. There is still no contract on the table. So, to have something done in the space of 2 weeks isn't likely. But as I said, there is no rush, really, from my side. Wait, what? Russell, the supposed future of Mercedes, doesn't even have a deal yet. This was the opening everyone had been whispering about. The Verstappen to Mercedes rumor mill began spinning again. Some said it was all a game, to pressure Red Bull into firing Horner. Others believed Max truly wanted out. And who wouldn't? A champion wants a fast car. And with Red Bull slipping, Mercedes started to look attractive, especially with Horner gone. But just as the speculation reached a boiling point, Verstappen shocked everyone. He stayed. Not only that, he declared, "I'm happy where I am. When I signed my last contract with Red Bull, my goal was to finish my career here." And just like that, the whispers stopped. Mercedes had missed their window. Behind the scenes, Toto Wolff tried to stay cool. "I don't think there will be big surprises," he told ORF, hinting that Mercedes would likely stick with Russell and promote rising star Andrea Kimi Antonelli. "The direction is, we want to continue with George and Kimi. That's the first priority." Even if Verstappen was the dream catch, Toto admitted reality. Based on Max's contract, nothing can happen until at least 2027. It gets more interesting. That so-called exit clause everyone talked about. It only activates if Max is outside the top 3 in the championship, and he's not. Heading into Spa, he's 3rd. So for now, Mercedes can only watch from the sidelines. And George Russell? He's smiling in public, but inside, he must feel the heat. Verstappen was almost in. Almost. And it would have changed everything. Because let's be honest, if Max joins your team, you're no longer the future. You're the second driver. What does Russell think of all this? "I'm not stressed about my future," he said in Spa. "I've scored most of the points for the team. If you look at the facts, my job here is safe." But is it? Because what Max just did wasn't just a commitment to Red Bull. It was a rejection of Mercedes, of Toto, of George, and nobody saw it coming. But here's the twist. The one detail buried under all the confident smiles, the media chaos, and the carefully worded quotes. That exit clause, it's not completely dead. Max Verstappen can still leave Red Bull. Not next year, not in 2027, but this summer. And the key is Hungary. Let's break it down. The clause in Verstappen's contract allows him to exit mid-season if he falls outside the top 3 in the championship by the summer break. Spa is race 13 of 24. Hungary, just 2 races from now, will mark the summer break. And right now, Verstappen sits 3rd in the standings, barely. 1 bad weekend, 1 DNF, 1 Red Bull mechanical issue, and suddenly, he's 4th. Suddenly, the clause is active. Suddenly, Toto Wolff's words, "I don't think there will be big surprises," start to feel like theatre. What if this entire Red Bull drama, Christian Horner's shocking exit, Laurent Mekies' soft landing, the overly calm statements from Verstappen, wasn't just chaos? What if it was misdirection? A smokescreen designed to distract from the one move that could shake Formula One to its core? Because all Max has to do is drop one place, and the door to Mercedes swings wide open. Quiet talks, closed room negotiations, perhaps already in motion. It wouldn't be the first time F1's biggest deals happened in the shadows. Toto Wolff, for all his humor about creative vacation collages of him and Verstappen, wasn't actually denying interest. "You can't ignore a driver like Max," he admitted. "He's not wrong. 4 titles, 65 wins, a proven killer on track. But because of the contract, it's not a possibility right now." Right now. 2 little words with enormous weight, because right now Verstappen is still 3rd, but Hungary is coming. Fast. And then there's Russell. He might be leading the Mercedes points tally, but what if it's not enough? What if the real reason he hasn't signed a contract yet is because he's not the one Mercedes truly wants? Or worse, what if Mercedes already knows they might have to drop him? Sure, Russell's putting on a brave face. "There's no rush from my side," he says. But that's the kind of thing you say when you're waiting on someone else's decision. When your future depends on whether or not Max Verstappen slips just a bit in Budapest. Think about it. If Verstappen hits a DNF in Hungary, or even a P7 finish, it could all come crashing down for Red Bull. The whole plan to keep him happy with a new team boss, the sacrifice of Horner, the reshuffling of the technical team, none of it will matter if Verstappen walks. Because for all their success, Red Bull has a single point of failure. His name is Max. Out of the team's 172 points this season, 165 have come from Verstappen. If he goes, they fall. And what does Max want? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? He says he's happy. He says he wants to finish his career at Red Bull. But he also said Christian Horner was like family. And we all saw how fast that family fell apart. When asked about Horner, Max gave a chilling answer. "I keep my opinion to myself. That's how the world works sometimes." That doesn't sound like someone who's fully at peace. That sounds like someone biting his tongue, waiting for the right moment to make the biggest move of his career. So what happens now? 2 races. That's all that stands between Red Bull holding onto their star or watching him walk. What do you think? Will Verstappen make the move? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.